So we tend to talk about languages on this channel. I mean, my name is literally the linguistics otter, but I want to talk about a type of language that isn't often covered by other channels, which is cat language, or what I like to call feline linguistics. Now, of course, cats don't really have the language that humans do, but we will be talking about cat language as if it were a human language using the IPA. Okay, so let's start by looking at vowels that cats are able to pronounce. Before we get into more cat language, let's hear a quick word from this video sponsor, Private Internet Access, or PIA VPN. Private Internet Access is a virtual private network, or VPN for short, that allows you to hide your IP address and safeguard your internet connection through an encrypted tunnel. Basically, it protects your internet usage from individuals, companies, and governments looking to exploit your private information. Unlike other VPN providers, PIA VPN never records or stores their users' data, and it has been proven multiple times in court. Because of this, I personally find it extremely useful when I'm traveling away from home, as I get to use public Wi-Fi networks with confidence, knowing that absolutely no one will be able to access my private data. On top of this, I love the ability to access region-locked content from all over the world. Many websites and services are only accessible depending on your physical location, but with PIA, you can just change your location with a click of a button. I mean, watching Netflix without PIA is like paying for a fancy hotel room but only getting to sleep in the hallway, so why not get full access to your streaming services by downloading PIA today? And there's more. With one subscription, you can protect an unlimited amount of devices at the same time. Go to https://piavpn.com/thelingotter and you'll get an exclusive 83% discount on private internet access. That's just $2.03 a month, and you'll also be getting 4 extra months completely for free. They have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk in giving it a go. Once again, thank you to PIA for sponsoring this video, and let's get back into cat language. Here is a vowel chart of the English language. English, like many other Germanic languages, has quite a bit of vowels. Depending on the dialect, English can have 11 to 14 vowels. In my Western American English dialect, I have around 11. We have I, U, U, E, A, O, A, Ah. Now, according to Suzanne Schutz, who does research in cat speech and language, there are around 14 vowels that have been observed in cats. Thankfully, English speakers will have an advantage in this because the majority of cat vowels are in English. Now, here we have the IPA vowel chart for cats. The only vowels that English speakers don't share with these cute felines are I, O, and O. This last one is actually found in the standard American dialect. If you pronounce these two words the same, then you're probably like me and you don't have this extra vowel, but if you pronounce these differently, then you probably have it. So that means you share another vowel with cats. Now, some of these vowels are made by rounding the lips, but according to Suzanne Schutz, she has yet to observe cats round their lips. Despite that, they're still able to create vowels like U or A. Until we're able to get actual videos of the inside of cats' mouths, we won't really know how they produce this rounded feature in their vowels. Now let's look at the consonants that cats are able to produce. Here's an IPA chart showing all of the consonants that are known to be produced by cats. There are around 16 of them. Of course, remember, these are approximations since the IPA was made for human language, not cat language. So we have M, T, R, F, R, J, K, G, Ng, Sh, Sh, Y, R, H. You might have noticed that there's a trilled R in this chart, but it's likely that this trill isn't the same exact one found in languages like Spanish. According to Suzanne, it is most likely produced further back in the mouth, along with having a nasal quality to them. You might notice the uvular trill as well, like the one found in French, R. This one also has a nasal quality to it. It's produced by cats when they're growling.
Janet, sit!
There's also a possibility that there might be even more consonants that cats are able to produce, but that has not been recorded on audio yet. For example, Suzanne predicts that cats should be able to produce the L sound, but it's not been recorded yet. She also claims that they should be able to pronounce the W sound, which is basically the consonant version of the vowel U. And as you might guess, cat language isn't all about just consonants and vowels. There's also pitch, intonation, length, intensity, rhythm, and voice quality that all contribute to a cat's communication system. Now let's look more in depth at the different types of sounds that cats make and what they mean. In the first section, we'll focus on different types of meows found in cat speech. The first type of meow we'll look at is called a mew. A mew is a very bright and high-pitched meow, which typically contains the vowels e, u. Typically, a mew is done with a pretty closed mouth. The mew is often used by kittens who want to get the attention of their mother. Typically, it means that the kitten is cold, hungry, or lost. Mother cats are able to recognize mewing and immediately come to the aid of their kittens when they hear this type of meow. Now, adult cats sometimes mew as well, but they typically do this only to humans when they're feeling a bit scared. So if you hear your cat mew, it kinda is like it's trying to get your attention as if you're its mom. Now the next type of meow is a squeak. This sound is similar to a mew, but is raspier, more nasally, and has shorter vowel lengths. As for the phonetics of a squeak, they are typically open syllables, meaning they end in a vowel. Usually they sound something like wa, me, el. So what does a squeak mean? Well, a squeak typically means that a cat is friendly and inviting you to something, so they might use it when they want a snack or when they want to play. Basically, it's just a little nod to the human to tell them, hey, I want this. Alright, now the next type of meow is a moan. It sounds much darker than the previous meows. Typically, they contain the vowels o and u. A typical moan can be transcribed as mo or wow. I actually have a video of a cat doing this type of meow. I was cat sitting my family's cat and he started getting separation anxiety, so he began to make this sound. As you can tell, cats often moan when they're feeling anxious, stressed, uncomfortable, or some similar emotions. And typically the pitch of a moan is level and then it drops at the end. Now we come to the standard meow sound. As you can guess, one of the ways to transcribe this is just like the onomatopoeia, meow. But it can also be pronounced as meow or wow. This sound is typically made by cats to get attention. It's hardly ever done with other cats and appears to be a type of sound reserved for communicating with humans. As kittens, it's pretty common for them to meow for their mothers, but it appears that our domestication of cats led to this meowing lasting up until their adult years. This is most likely because humans seem to respond to cats' meows very well. I mean, think about all the times your cat meows. It's probably trying to get your attention and you immediately respond to it. So it makes sense why cats meow as adults in order to communicate with us. A final type of meow is a trill meow. Which is another very common type of meow. Suzanne transcribes this trill meow as meow or meow or meow. Now, a trill meow typically has a pitch rise fairly quickly, but what does it mean? Well, it appears to be pretty similar to a regular meow. It's used by cats to communicate with humans, but a trill might indicate a friendly invitation. Now that we have all the meows covered, let's look at sounds that are typically associated with aggressiveness. First, we have a growl.
Dale, sit.
A growl is typically very guttural and is transcribed with that nasally English R sound. A growl typically means that there is danger and that the cat is trying to scare off any threats. Now next we have a howl or a yowl sound. Which are typically transcribed as ow, but elongated, so ow, meow. You've probably heard this sound if your cat sees another cat on their territory, aka your backyard. The two cats will get into a howling match until one finally submits and leaves. Alright, the next type of aggressive sound we have is the hiss, which is typically transcribed as. Typically, this sound is seen when a cat sees a threat, attempting to warn it to not come any closer. Now, not all hisses are necessarily aggressive. Cats that get surprised or if they have like an insecure type of personality may also use it as a warning. Now, the next type of sound we have is a spit.
Are you growling at me?
This sound is transcribed as ksht, ksht. Similar to the previous sounds, this is done when a cat feels threatened. It is often accompanied with a stomping paw on the ground. This sound is also found in other felines like cheetahs, by the way. And now the final sound we have is a snarl. There isn't a transcription given for this one, but you probably know what it sounds like. They're produced when a cat is actively fighting or if they're in pain. Now those were all the aggressive sounds, but there's something interesting about them. Here is a chart, and as you can see, a cat will growl if they detect a threat far away, and then a little closer they might start howling or yowling. A little closer they'll hiss and spit, and now even closer that's when you get snarling, and inevitably the fighting begins and you get shrieks. Now let's get into mating calls. Now, mating calls aren't really unique sounds when compared to meows or howls. Rather, the mating call consists of series of meows, trills, and howls. If we were to transcribe the sound, it would sound like ah, ooh, ow, wow, meow, meow. Typically, mating calls are very elongated and loud and kind of annoying, to be honest. You may have heard this even if you don't own a cat, as you might hear it in the early mornings of spring. You may be woken up by a very loud cry from a cat looking for a partner, but they're trapped behind that window. Now let's get into a more peaceful topic by talking about one of my favorite cat sounds, purring. Purr is a very low-pitched sound, ranging from 20 to 30 hertz. Keep in mind that the average human can hear as low as 20 hertz, so we are right at the cusp of being able to hear it. The way that Suzanne transcribes purring is by using a nasal trill combined with a h sound. So a meow could be written as. Now these arrows represent the inhalation and the exhalation. Anyways, you might associate purring with being content, which is often the case, but it can also happen when cats are feeling stressed, afraid, or even when they're in pain actually. If one could summarize the entire meaning of purring in one sentence, it would mean something like, I am no threat. In a happy context, it would mean something like, keep doing that, or I'm very happy and relaxed with you right now. Next, let's get into a sound that you may have never heard your cat actually do, as it's pretty rare. This sound is called chirping. Chirping is transcribed with a k sound, but unaspirated and pronounced more forward in the mouth, so the sound is produced by cats that are actively hunting prey. It is thought that this sound is done to imitate a bird sound or some other prey. Another hunting sound is a chirp. Transcribed as a glottal stop. Now it'd be really interesting to see a constructed language that includes all the vowels and consonants that I included in the beginning, attempting to make a sort of cat language for some intelligent cat race. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed learning about all the phonetics of meows, growls, trills, and other cool sounds that our feline friends make. There is still a lot of research to be done, so a lot of these descriptions are pretty general or vague, but it's really interesting to see that there is work being done. Now, if you like weird language content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button to see more. And I'd like to personally thank my Patreon members who help make these videos possible. Special thanks to... Thank you so much, and see you all next time. Ciao!